Hi, welcome back, everybody. Nick Wagner, Stewart and Stewart Attorneys. Of course, with me is Darron Stewart. And one of the things I do, Darron, with my clients, I know you do it with our clients as well, is you kind of go through some of the rules, some of the risks and benefits of going to trial, and some of the rules that we have to follow. And there's a really big rule that most people don't know about. Yeah?
The insurance aspect?
Yeah.
Yeah. The rules of the court state that we cannot tell the jury that the defendant was insured. So, for example, if it's an automobile accident and Mr. John Smith's sitting there because he ran a red light, he's the defendant, I can't tell the jury, hey folks, you know that he's insured with Allstate and this is his policy limits, this is what we're asking for, etc. You're not allowed to tell the jury that. I think well, obviously the insurance lobbyist got that rule put in place. Their logic, thoughts behind that, or arguments behind that, were that if a jury knows there's insurance, they'll blank check, they'll write whatever. Right. And honestly, I just don't believe that. I believe certainly here in Indiana, people will pay what the claim is worth. They would not pay more just because there's insurance.
Yeah.
So the reality also is people that are on a jury need to realize that if there's a personal injury lawyer there representing a plaintiff against the defendant and they don't hear conversation about the insurance, it's because they're not allowed to talk about it, number one. Number two, they wouldn't be there if there wasn't insurance.
Right. So, yeah, if you're ever on a jury,
assume there's insurance.
Assume there's auto insurance.
Yeah.
That's going to cover it.
Yes, assume there's auto insurance, always, if you're on a jury.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
And that's what the insurance is there for.
Right.
You know,
right.
that.
The other rule there in court is that we cannot tell the jury that we're charging a fee. Mm-hmm. We're not allowed to talk about our fee. So, for example, when we're closing, we say, whatever you decide that my client should get, please remember that I charge a fee on top of that. Here's the percentage. Be sure that they get all that they should
take
get.
That into account, right?
Yeah, and you're not allowed to tell them that.
Can't say that.
And the jury is not allowed to hear that. So they should assume, obviously that the attorney's getting paid as well.
And it's not a rule without consequences. I mean, if we go up there and now say, hey, remember, when you're given this award, the insurance company,
it could be a mistrial. Okay. Yeah, judge could rule a mistrial on that, depending on how egregious it was and if it really taints the case or jury.
So another response to that question, is the question of, do I need to hire a lawyer? What are the risks of moving forward? There are a lot of rules in place that can make or break your case. And call Stewart and Stewart if you have any questions about it.
Just throw this in there. The important thing is that I want people to know, if you're on a jury, you should assume that the defendant has insurance, because the reality is we're not going to take a case to trial against somebody who doesn't have insurance.
Right.
If they didn't have insurance when they were driving their car, they have no assets to insure, so there's no point in pursuing that because they'll file bankruptcy and get you out of there. So there's insurance in place. Assume that there is.
Yep. Give us a call if you have any other questions on that.